welcome to the DGM video series. We're back to commemorate the 50th, that's right, I said 50th Dallas Games Marathon. So I think it's only fitting that we turn back the board gaming clocks of time and remember those board games that we loved when we were kids. For me, it was nothing to mow lawns endlessly, beg my mom to drive me 50 miles to the closest mall that had a small section of board games like Tactics 2, Stratomatic Baseball, Magic Realm, Starship Troopers, Dungeons and Dragons. My biggest problem was once I got them home, I couldn't find anybody to play board games with. Today, that is not a problem. With awesome events like the Dallas Games Marathon, it's easy to find friends to play board games with. In fact, I've got friends coming over right now to play board games. You know what? I'm gonna bug them with the question 1. What were your favorite board games growing up as a kid?
Monopoly, the Game of Life, Checkers, Chess. I did play Starfleet Battles and D&D.
We played Scrabble.
I mean, mostly we played card games.
Card games like Spades, Hearts.
Right, Hearts was really big one.
Yeah.
My #1 favorite game was this game called Manhunt, and no one would ever play it with me, but it was rare. It was a little detective kind of game, and had a little fake computer, and you went through and did that. I loved Manhunt. It was. I also read a lot of Agatha Christie, and it felt right in line with that.
I played a lot of Starfleet Battles, a lot of Dungeons and Dragons.
What kind of character did you play?
Usually
a drunk
thieves. No, usually thieves. I did play a gnome once, a gnome illusion. No, a gnome jester. And that was fun.
I was mainly a role-playing gamer when I was a kid, Dungeons and Dragons and that sort of stuff, but I love games like Ogre, Car Wars.
I got a copy of Conquest of the Empire, Game Master Series by Milton Bradley. Loved it. Immediately got the whole collection, Axis and Allies, Conquest of the Empire, Shogun, Fortress America. Went to town with those.
I love the Mousetrap game. I love the James Bond board games. Thunderball was a deduction game. It was really a lot of fun.
Scrabble.
And that's it. Scrabble.
I wasn't exposed to all of this.
I remember playing that with my little brother.
One of my favorite games growing up was Fireball Island.
Is that the one where the ball rolled down?
Yeah.
My favorite game growing up was Stratego. I love Stratego.
Trivial Pursuit. Wooden Ships and Iron Men. And Avalon Hill.
I would say Monopoly, but that's just because I didn't know any better. But other than that, either Quicksand or Crossfire.
Chess. But I think my favorite game was probably Spades.
The first one was Shoots Away, where you dropped rescue packages onto a motorized board through a little eye finder for a plane. And the other one was Dungeons and Dragons Labyrinth, which was an electronic game where you moved metal miniatures to try and get the treasure and avoid the dragon.
Played a lot of Car Wars and...
So who's Car Wars by?
Steve Jackson.
Oh, it is Steve Jackson.
Yes, Steve Jackson games. Another Illuminati was another Steve Jackson.
That was Totopoly. It was a horse racing game by Warringtons.
Star Trek game that kind of came out after the motion picture, and it was very random. It had I liked it, I was really young, and it had bright, colorful planets, and they had little Starship Enterprises that were on little stands, and they were brightly colored.
Card games, canasta. My grandparents were poker players, so we played penny poker. So that's where I got my love of cards.
Penny poker.
And card games stuff. Yep.
Like Sean, I played a lot of card games with my family, rummy and gin at an early age. My grandmother used to beat the tar out of us in rummy. So when my mom got me Dark Tower.
You had Dark Tower?
Yeah, and I loved
Dark Tower.
I had Dark Tower too.
Because that was when you could.
You had Dark Tower?
Oh yeah, I wish I kept it because it's worth so much.
I know.
Fortress America, Blood Bowl. I'm a big Ameritrash fan for sure. Loved Risk. I would play Risk for hours and hours and hours.
I enjoyed playing Hearts. We get together as a family and we just have a great time, and it was a great family entertainment. So
I played a lot of Monopoly. I didn't like it.
Probably a mix between chess and Clue.
I really loved Clue. I mean, we would totally play Clue marathons.
Well, I liked Monopoly. I liked playing anything that somebody would play with me.
I love playing cards, hearts, bridge, Monopoly, Parcheesi were probably the family favorites.
It wasn't Samurai Swords, it was Shogun on the shelf. It was Axis and Allies on the shelf. Of course, Risk. They had some pen and paper games from the 70s laying around. Munchkin when it was available. We had Dune, the old Dune board game was one of the first ones we played. And
once I got up to high school, I started playing Ogre and Car Wars and Cosmic Encounter. Those were some of the 3 big staples. So I'm really excited about the Ogre giant box. It's going to weigh 20 pounds.
In the early 80s, I found discovered Dungeons and Dragons. Because I owned all the stuff, I by default was a dungeon master.
Did you like in school? Would you like have your grid paper underneath your notebook paper and be drawing dungeons while you should be doing your homework?
So while the teacher was giving, talking, I'd be completing my homework assignment. So when I got home, I'd have all the free time to.
You are such a better student than me.
You can't summon it up just on demand.
Go goose him. Go squeeze his butt or something.
One of my favorite games was Spin the Bottle. We played that a lot when I was in junior high.
Him and all of his brothers.
No, I don't have any brothers.
I got a time bomb in my mind, Mom. I hear it ticking, but I don't know why. I call the police, but they don't like me. I hear them whispering when I walk by. I was in a real bad way when you turned the power on, and you made me feel for all the world like I was the king of all of the world. I was on a window ledge when you came upon.
This is the 50th Dallas Games Marathon. We've got a table full of stuff to give away. It's taken a lot of people, and it's been a wonderful ride. And it's just gotten bigger and bigger and better.
I'd like to interrupt you for a second, and I just want to mention that it was really Kevin McKenzie during his effort in finding this location. He spent a lot of time.
Just want to say thanks again to Kevin. You know, we miss him from down here, and I'm glad he could get him down here. And if Kevin, Carl, and Ernie hadn't started this in 2007, we wouldn't be here there. So one final round of applause for Kevin, Carl, and Ernie.
She was barely 17. She was drinking whiskey sours in a bar. The way she tossed him back, I would have had a heart attack. But as it is, I'll let her drop. I'm pulling off the road, I'm opening the door, I'm giving you the pain, and I'm telling you what for. You're no more than a thought, no more than a thought.
On an early DGM Sunday morning, Carl and I decided to take a trip down memory lane to play a game of Ogre. If you aren't familiar with the game, it was Steve Jackson's first game design, released way back in 1977. It's a ground-based tactical warfare game set late in the 21st century. We decided on the basic scenario. He played the GEV and had to defend his base from the giant cybernetic tank Ogre, which of course I controlled. The rules are so simple that I was able to re-familiarize myself with the game in just a few minutes. I remember as a kid drawing pictures of the Ogre and slowly destroying it as the game progressed. Some things never change. This scenario takes less than an hour to play and the gameplay is fast. I think Carl and I both really enjoyed revisiting the game, and it certainly whet my appetite for the upcoming re-release of Ogre. We were lucky enough to be visited by Randy Schooneman of Steve Jackson Games this month at the DGM, so he and I sat down to have a little chat.
For some board gamers to get to work for Steve Jackson Games. So what do you do for Steve Jackson?
I am the convention manager and retail liaison.
Does that mean you get to go to all the conventions?
I get to go to a lot of the conventions. We were never going to make a huge profit margin on Ogre. That was never the point. The point was to get that game back out there to the people who love it and give something back to the community that made the company what it is today. We wanted to make the good stuff. Steve said, well, it used to be little paper chips. Well, now we go to the cardstock, the actual chips that people see with real art on them. This is, again, a prototype piece, so this isn't what it's going to look like finally. I think this is slightly larger than the hex it's supposed to fit in, but it's going to be chipboard instead of a little piece of paper that you have to lick your finger to pick up. And the boards will be actual physical boards. This is, again, a prototype, so when it looks different in the final version, you'll know why. But it's supposed to be a board, and it's going to be big.
Being a kid who grew up playing Steve Jackson games, I'm really excited for them, and it's probably a very exciting time to be working for them. Probably.
It is. It has always been an exciting time to work for them. I have been really privileged with the people I've met in the industry. I mean, I've met James Ernst, I've met Robert Gifford from Geek Chic. I've gotten to work with those guys. I've gotten to sit down and talk and play poker with James Ernst. I've gotten to talk to Ross Jepson from PSI, who's got a lot of knowledge about how distribution works. I've gotten to talk to guys at Fantasy Flight who are cooking through, and they're doing wonderful print buying and just the production quality of games. I've talked to,
you can't hurt by getting some advice from those guys, man.
I've talked to Zeb from Z-Man Games about how he does conventions and how he does the games he's made. I've gotten to sit down and play King of Tokyo with Richard Garfield.
You bum, really?
Yeah.
When can we expect to see them shipping?
Late 2012 is the number I have right now. The Kickstarter versions will ship. We'll move 1 month ahead of those. We live in a real world. I expect it late 2012, but if it goes early 2013, I don't want anybody screaming that I said, no, it had to cut in stone late 2012. There's still a lot of work to be done.
Anticipation is part of the fun, sir. Anticipation is part of the fun.
I would rather have it done right than done early.
You bet.
Granted, I would rather have it done right early, but again, I live in the real world.
That's all for this commemorative episode of the 50th Dallas Games Marathon. I hope you enjoyed it.
Well, she said, I know, but I just can't tell everything that you've just been saying. Lucy was there as well in the dark, and the kids in the band were playing. No one can hear a word or tell what the girl was singing. See, she must